So anytime you go to do a work, the reason some Christians are shabby with their work is because they are just looking for how much do I need to get by and earn my pay. It's because they don't have this orientation. That first and foremost, your labor is an act of participation in creation. Did you hear what I said? That your labor, every opportunity you have to work is an opportunity to participate with God in the activity of creation. So don't just do it to get by. There are sometimes that people go out of their way and they make clothing for me like this, and I can never wear it. Even though I appreciate where it came from, but I cannot wear it. It does not take more, what do they call it? The thread that they used to sew this thing. Hello? If your line is going to go straight, it will actually take less thread than if your line is not straight. There's something called index of directness in geography. The only reason why we do rows and they turn sometimes, there are two reasons sometimes. Sometimes to help drivers. If the road is too straight, you can easily slip off. So we put a little bit of bend. The other reason is to avoid difficult terrain. So there's direct distance, all right? The direct distance from the top here to this place is shorter than if this thing goes zigzag and zigzag. You will take more thread, actually, if you do it badly. Hello? There's something called finishing. People, I'm talking about, it's like garnishing in foods, right? In culinary art, there's something called garnishing. You prepare rice, you garnish it. Some of you don't, it's like, it is the food. No. How you serve the food matters. You are supposed, everything you do is supposed to contribute to human flourishing. It's supposed to make life a little bit more livable that you did it. Are you with me? You are a co-participant with God in creation. This is ogbono soup that has never been made before that you just made. That moment that you made that soup, you have created something. And you should do it like someone that has the Spirit of God in him. Are you with me? Are you with me? Many of you remember when we dedicated this place. One of those days we put the picture, the 3D picture that was done, and then the actual building. If many people came and said, the building is even finer than the picture. I say, yes, that was what it was meant to be. Because this one, we did it real. The other one was computer generated. Even though it was human being that was behind it, we should be able to still do better than that. And you can match it picture for picture. What we set out to achieve. Part of the reason why some of the furnishing in those offices have not been done, the reason it's not been done till now, that we are now about to do it, is because of the standard we want to keep it at. Are you with me? We are going to use the most affordable price to get the most valuable outcome. We will not be extravagant. You can bet on that. In fact, there were many things that happened in this place that were services rendered by people to God that we could have paid for in millions that we didn't pay for. Reverend Jeremiah, if he's around, he can tell you some of the things we bought in this place. I drove to the place myself to negotiate the prices, including gravel, granite. We went to quarry 1, quarry 2, quarry 3, and then compared prices and took their numbers so that no middleman will cheat us in how much money we were spending to get granite. Some of the things we will compare prices in Abuja. If it's cheaper in Abuja, we will buy in Abuja. Sometimes when I travel, I will load some of them in the back of my vehicle. Some other times we will bill it. But the point was that we're going to do good quality, all right, at the most competitive price. Because even if you have all the money, it's not yours. You shouldn't throw it around. Are you there? And at the same time, we will not compromise on quality. There's always a middle point. There is a sweet spot. So at some point, some people say, but does it have to be this wood? Can't we use a lesser wood? I say, no, we can't use a lesser wood. It has to be this one. You see, there's no screen on this stage yet. Can you see? Ordinarily, you expect there will be a large screen here. There's no screen here because there's no screen yet. Are you there? The wood is good. Even though it is wood, it is good. People who have screen look at this thing and they envy it. When we are going to put a screen there, you will know that we got screen. Are you with me? I don't want you to get distracted by what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say to you that there is that sweet spot where you are. You see, the cathedrals of old that we find in Europe, some of those buildings, the kings that commissioned them did not live to see them built. There were buildings that happened across 50 years. And when you come and see the carvings, the sculpture, like people will do scaffold to the roof of a building, and every single icon you see was chiseled by hand. Sometimes people took 80 years to do the ceiling of a cathedral. Sometimes it took longer than that. Sometimes a man will begin and die, and his son will complete it from where he stopped. And 600 years later, people still walk into those buildings and they have church services. The hall where I had my matriculation at Oxford at that time was over 600 years old, the building. Because when they were built then, people came with a certain level of devotion and dedication. I don't know how much you can pay a man that will be worth the kind of labor. Those were before there was electricity. That's what I'm talking to you about. These guys worked with their hands and chisel, crude instrument, but the artistry, the attention to detail. So I'm not just talking of being extravagant or being whatever. I'm saying that creation is part of the reason why God made us the way God made us. God made us to participate with him in the art and in the act of creation. So that includes the cake that you bake. Are you there? Are you there? That includes the way you approach the song that you sing. You are creating a moment in God's world for God's people. That includes the way that you wrap the moi moi that you sell. Are you there? Trust God. Find a way. Sometimes I used to know a man a long time ago. You see these buttonholes? You know buttonholes? The man uses his hand as a tailor because there is a weaving, there's a special machine that they use to sew those holes, isn't it? He didn't have it, but there was an artistry with which he did it. Eventually, what he does, ended up being more expensive than the one that was done by machine. Because when you saw it, you could tell that every single buttonhole was woven or knit by hand. It was hand and needle and thread that he used. Some of you are tailors. The other day, Jerry is not here, but I don't know who I sent to ask Jerry to give me a scissors or a razor blade during this last conference, because one of the clothes I had to wear, I was stuck. I couldn't push cufflinks because even though they sold it, they didn't remember to open it. I had worn the shirt before I realized that I cannot proceed. So you needed to see me in the office struggling with to complete what Taylor started. You see, nothing that I have said now means whether you should be big man or not a big man. I'm simply trying to say to you that you need to imbibe a culture that represents the ideal of God for man at the beginning. We're created to subdue. We're created to steward creation. We're created to govern, subdue it. Because these are the basics. It is on this path that we're eventually going to bump into reward for labor. We need to understand labor first. Are you here this evening? Are you here this evening? There were some of you that started doing something and then you left it halfway. Some of you, the things you do now, you know you could be better, but you have not invested the time to improve yourself in the thing that you do. You know, sometimes I send to Ghana. They make clothes for me from Ghana. Ask my wife. I have liters. I may call it liters. The last batch of cloth that I did from one tailor to give my dad, we could not rescue one out of it. Somebody will make new clothes. None of them is good for use. I don't even know how ladies do it. I am not very used to. They can adjust it. What is wrong with you? You had measurement to start with. Why are we adjusting it? Like you took my measurement. I stood. You did me all the command. Say, raise your hand. Say, do this one. Say, can you stand straight? I stand straight. Say, pull it up a little bit. Let me gauge your waistline. I put it on. You invaded my personal space. Tie measuring tape around my belly. Tie it around my waist. My arm. You know so much already. And as I doing, you are writing. Then you now make the outfit. We've not washed it. So you cannot say, oh, maybe it shrank. And you make the thing and then I wait and you are suffocating me. I cannot button it. You're like, okay, so just send it back. We'll adjust it. There was one set that I sent to Abuja. It's more than 5 years now. I sent it to somebody so that they can help me give the tailor. I just lost interest. He kept calling me, say, sir, those clothes are still with, they are still, I left it, I've told the driver, anytime. After reminding me like 3 years, even he too, he got tired. That was wasted. Let that not be you. If you make hair, let it be impossible for people to pass by without asking, hey, who made that hair for you? Let it be that anybody that knows hair making, when they see the hair that you made, people who know it will know that work went down here. Like, who made that hair for you? Like, was one of my friends. Like, how much does she like this one? She didn't charge me anything. No. She just said, I don't like whoever is making your hair for you. I don't like the way they are misrepresenting you. And so that's how she sat me down and did this thing for me. Like, what? You know, all truth is God's truth. Do you know that? All truth is God's truth. All truth is God's truth. The truth of mathematics, the truth of physics. Huh? Are you with me? The truth of gote. If there's a way to make gote, that will satisfy the appetite of man. Huh? And that will replenish the body of man. That we are yet to find out. It is of God. Yes, it is of God. Are you with me? Your work is supposed to be an extension of God's creative project. It is an opportunity for you to participate with God in his creative enterprise. He left those rooms so that you and I can feel it. And the intention was that when we feel it, God will not be missed. Did you get that last bit? God will not be missed. That's where we wrap up. That when God brought the animals to man to name, the Bible said he brought them to Adam to see what he will name them. Hello? Partly because they were hunting for a wife for Adam. So to see in case Adam will misname any animal and think that that is his pair. If you read the story, you will see the point I'm making to you. In the 18th verse of the 2nd chapter of Genesis. But the point was that when God brought the animals to man to name, the Bible said it is so that God will see what the man will call the animals. And it so happened that, and out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. The simple way to interpret this was that God did not need to make adjustment to what Adam did. Are you with me? There was no need to adjust anything. There was no need to reset anything. Hello? There was no need to say, well, I left 3 inches there, so we can actually open it. We still have, we can recover 2 inches on the right side and 2 inches on the left. No. Whatever Adam named it, that was the name thereof. God did not need to add, to modify what Adam did. That's the simplest way to understand it. Another way to understand it just simply means that the name of the animal was the name that Adam gave the animal. Meaning that the thing God would have called the animal, that was the thing Adam called the animal. So the idea is that when you walk, you should be walking in the stead of God. You should be walking in the stead of God. Even though we live in a fallen world now, that should be your aspiration still. To say, I want to be as close as possible to Edenic normalcy as can be done in a broken world.